and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a picture of this budgie you can see down there in the reference. So I'm just going to get my mechanical pencil. Where is it? There it is. And I'm going to start by drawing the outline of the bird. So I'm going to start, start by just drawing, oh, hang on, got to get, what have I done here? No. Go layer 2, okay. And then I'm going to get a pencil. I'm going to go my monoline pencil to begin with. Like that. And I'll get my little, start to draw the basic shape of the body in. So I always start with the head. Now they've got, their beak comes down at the front there like that. His head, I've got to make it a bit wider, a bit longer. I'm just going to make this pen a bit thicker, like that. Start to draw basic shape. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I always start with the head. Why? Oh. Now they've got, it's got to mute my thing. Hang on, how do I mute that? Make it bigger, make it bigger. Got to mute it. How do I mute it? I'll just do this. Hang on, I'll put it onto silent. There we go. Now she's silent. So you won't hear me in the background because I need that to see my chat. So now I'm going to do the back. Now the body is 2 times the length of the head. And a little bit thicker through the body there than the head and chest. Like that. So 1, 2 to the leg, 1, 2. So the head and the body, 2 times the length of the head is the body. Then the body comes off a little bit square there like that. And now the tail is 2 times the length of the head as well. So I'm just going to shrink that a little bit. I'm going to go, so 1, 2, it's about 2 times the length of the head. Might make it a fraction longer, just like that. And they've got a thin tail. So that sort of gives you the basic sort of shape. I'm going to draw the wings. The wing comes down to the length of the back, just above the tail, like that. And then he's got, you can see the green feathers on his back. And his other wing comes out there like that. Okie doke. So now his little leg comes out this part of his body like that. I'm just going to make that a bit bigger. I always start with the rough sort of sketch first. Draw that little claw down there. And I'm going to make it, can't see the other claw, I'm just going to put the perch he's sitting on. Like that, and take that right the whole length of the picture. Do the same on that side. Like that. Okay, so that's the basic outline for the budgie. Having a quick look. Now I'm going to add his little beak in. His beak comes down there. You can see he's got his nose there. I'm going to make his head a fraction taller. The more I look, the more I do, once I start to add detail, I can see where things need to be a bit better. He's got sort of a bit of a rounder head than I've given him. Like that. And then his his eye is just about there on his head, like that. It's to the front of his face, but a little bit centre, a little bit of front of forward, so a little bit front of middle. So he's not quite on the middle line. He's like, if you'd mark down the middle like that, his eye's just in front of the middle of his head. Okay, so now I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to practice my layers so that way I can get rid of the lines when I'm done. And I'm going to go in his body with yellow. And I'm going to literally fill in the whole of his body. I'll do his head first. So I'm just going to make my line a bit thicker around his head. Everywhere that's going to be yellow, I'll do the base layer of yellow. And all I do is I draw in his whole head like that. You can see he's got a lot of yellow on there. And then I'm going to drag and drop the yellow into there, and that fills his head in just nicely with that lovely vibrant yellow. Now his body's a light green, so I'm going to take this green, I'm going to mark, same thing, I'm going to mark around his wings. Oops, days, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go to there, then I'm going to drop in that green into that bit. I'm going to take that green around his belly, everywhere that I can see that looks like it's got that light green. I'll add layers of colours over the top, like that. Whoops, that's how I didn't touch the lines together there. I missed a bit. That's better. Okay, now I'm also going to add a little bit of that green. Oops, why did that do that? Onto there. There we go. Okay, now he does have a lot of that green and yellow in his feathers on his wings, but I'll add that in a minute. So now I'm going to add the blue onto his tail. So I'm going to go this pale blue. Again, I'm going to draw around the edge like that, join it all together, drag and drop, and that fills in the blue of his tail. I might even, now I can see he's got grey on his wings, but I might do the light green. I might fill in his wings the light green, and I can add the details over the top anyway. So I'm just going to come around here and just block that in and block that one as well. Fill that, drag and drop. And that colour drops in there. And I'm just going to blend in the rest of this like that. I'll make that a bit thicker and fill that in. Alrighty. Have a sip of my coffee. Okie doke. So now his beak is a real sort of skin colour. So I'm going to, whoops, add that in here. It's a very pale pinkish skin colour. And I'll drop that, whoops, colour into there. And he's got a light blue top on his beak. That tells you it's a boy, because the boys have little blue tops on their beak, and the girls have pink or a skinny tone. That's how you can tell a boy budgie and a girl budgie apart. So, quite happy with that. Now I'm going to draw the little pupil on his eye. And make it a bit bigger, like that. And that's him basically roughed in. Now I'm going to add that same skin tone to his legs, like that. Lock that in and fill it in. Oops. Oh, didn't want to do that. Go down to here. There we go. And that fills that in. So I can blend that out a little bit as I need to. Now I'm going to do I've got to do his tail. I can start to build up now the detail. So I've got the base colours down and where I want them. And I'm going to make him a bit larger. I'm going to get rid of the background drawing now. Can I get rid of the background drawing? Oh, right. I want to get that colour. Hang on, background colour. Why has it done that? I'm going to get rid of that. Delete that layer. Okay, because I don't know what I did there. So I'm going to have to erase, I think I'm going to have to erase the underdrawing. Go another layer. So I'm going to erase this underdrawing now. I'm just going to go around, make my eraser a little bit bigger. Whoops. Press that eraser button. Why is it? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer, that's why. Come around and just erase. I'm just erasing the pencil lines because I was going to delete that layer, but I messed up the layer. So I'm not very good at layers. Can you tell? Not very good at layers at all. So something I've got to get used to for digital art. The rest of it I can go along and just delete as I go. Just tidy up these outside edges. Get rid of any excess pencils. Ones that are on his body I'll cover with feathers anyway. Fill this in down here. Get rid of all that feather, the line on the outside of his tail. Like that. I can thicken that up in a minute. Okay, quite happy with that. So now I'm zooming in on the reference a little bit. I'm going to blend all of this messy sort of stuff that's going on here. I'm going to blend all of that. Now I can see he's got a tip of white on the top of his head, a really bright sort of light. So I'll add that in now and I'll blend that. So I'm just going to work my way around, adding little bits. I'm going to work my way from his head down his body. Come around his eye. You can see around his iris, he's got quite a light marking. So I'll put that in like that. And then he's got a pale, pale blue around the outside of his iris like that. His pupil touches the top, so I'm just going to adjust his pupil a bit, and his pupil's a bit more oval than I've got it. So I made it not that oval, not quite that oval. Okay, now it looks like a cat's eye, so I'm just going to soften that bottom part. There we go, like that. I will tidy that up a fraction more. Now he's got a very fine line around the outside of his eye. Not happy with that. I'm going to undo that. I need it to be a softer line. I might try an airbrush, like a soft airbrush. Oops, I see what I've done. I've got to blend that. Whoa, don't want to erase it. I want to blend it. Put that back, blending button. The pointy finger is the blend. There we go. Now I'm going to add that light blue in again, around the eye, around the pupil. Make it a bit bigger so I can adjust it a bit better. I'm going to grab my soft airbrush just because it's just a bit of a softer effect, a bit nice, a bit softer. Like that. Come around. Actually, it's almost a grey, isn't it? It's almost that greeny grey. I'm just going to add that over the top and lighten that off a little. And then I can see his eye, this light part, actually comes down like that. Then I'm going to add soft airbrush. Around the outside of the eye. There we go. Like that. I want maybe I'll try that brush, that pen. It's a bit of a softer sort of a pen. That's a bit better. Okay. And then I'm going to add the highlight. Find a white from white from down here on one of these other palettes. I'm going to add that highlight onto his eye just there. A little bit more triangular than that, just like that. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to blend. You can see where I've made it very messy around his beak. So I'm going to tidy all that up. Blend all that out. I'm actually going to change that shape a little bit too. I'm going to go back around it with a bit of yellow. A bit of this strong yellow, because you can see I need it to be a little bit more of that shape. And I can come in and fill in under his beak. Like that. Fill all of that in. I'm actually going to come around the top part of his eye, like that. And tidy that up. Come around the top part of his beak there. Whoops. Like that. Fill that in. Okay, now I'm having a look. I'm going to blend his beak a little bit more now. Blend down on his beak. And I'm going to erase just around the edge. I've got to change the shape just a little. Like that. And I've noticed his beak is a bit more yellowy than I've got it. It's a bit of a greeny yellow. So I might even use this greeny yellow. I'm going to take that onto the top of his beak there. Just going to make that a little bit smaller. Like that. You can see that sort of greeny tone comes down onto his beak there. He's got a bit more of that yellow coming down onto here, but I'm going to make it less opaque. So I'll make it a bit more pale. Need to make that brush a bit thicker. Like that. And I'm just going to take that over the whole beak. Like that. And then I'm going to add the light. You can see the white or the creamy colour down on the tip of his beak. I'm going to make that a bit smaller. Like that. Come around the edge of his nose. Around the top. Like that. Okay, come around there. All right, now shrink him down a bit and have another look. Okay, I'm going to get that white again. Take it around the bottom of his, around the bottom of his beak. I'm going to make a stronger blue. I'm going to make that a bit bigger. Fill that in. I'm going to get my airbrush brush, soft air. And I'm going to soften up the back of that nostril there. Oops. There we go. Now I'm going to blend a little bit. And I'm just working on the little details, getting things starting to make it look correct. Okay. Shrink him down, have another look. Okay. Now I can see he's got some green, some pale green on the back of his head where he's got these, oops, that's way too big. So I'm going to take this pale green just on the top of the back of his head where I'm going to add these little feather markings. And I'm going to take that around the nape of his neck, like that. And I'm going to blend this mess that I've made down here. It's going to blend it in, join it together, like that. Blend that yellow down into the green. That. So his head's starting to take shape. Now I'm going to I'm going to add a little bit more light around his eyes. Oops, make that a bit smaller. A little bit more around his eyes, maybe not that much, it's a bit too big. Need it to be teeny tiny. There we go, that's better. Around the top of his eye, into his beak a bit more, like that. Now I'm going to add a stronger blue, slightly stronger blue, onto his nosy bit, come up and around his beak, top of his nostril, like that. and then down. So I pretty much treat this exactly how I would treat a traditional piece. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of stronger green into the top of his beak there. Like that. And I'm going to blend that, soften it, make it smaller, and blend it down into the yellow. Blend that white back up. There we go. Okay, looking all right. I'll add that little bit of dark blue, the strong blue, just down here under his cheek, down about there, I reckon. And I'll just drag that blue into, oop, I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll just draw that in. I can pale that up. I'm just going to blend it now. That's just a nicer way of softening it. Like that. I'll add the light blue around the outside of it. You just have a little bit of light blue on there. A little bit of white. Not exactly the same as, oh, that's not white. That's the creamy colour, that white. There. Come down there. Okay. I'm just going to blend all that. I'll add texture to that at the end. Actually, I can do that now. I'm going to go to my other brushes. And I'm going to grab, there was a hairbrush, it was hair. The rake shader. Got to find it. Hair. Oh, no, that's not it. That's way too big. Hang on. A small one. Just to give that hair texture. Go back up to there. I'm going to go into that blue. That just softens that up. Just like that. And take that down the edges. That just softens that so it's not just hard lines. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to grab that hair strand brush, I think, and I'm going to grab this dark greyish colour. It's almost a dark, super dark bluey grey. I'm going to start to add this in where you can see the lines of the feathers on his head. Make that a bit bigger, a bit thicker even. Whoops, not quite that thick maybe. That's better. And they come almost down to his eyes. So I continue on just taking these around. Don't have to be exactly like the reference. And then he's got them, they come down here around his face. Like that. And they come around the back. I'm just watching the directions that everything goes. And then they actually start to come around. They meet around here. Then the top ones are smaller. And they go down his back. They sort of all meet up a little. Sort of meet in the middle like that. Then they get smaller. There we go. It's starting to come together, his little head is anyway. Which is good. Continue on and around. It gets stronger down onto his back there. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow into there as well, because I go back into my yellow. I can take, you see there's a little bit of a stronger yellow coming down into here. A little bit coming down into there. And I can add some of that limey green as well. So those, make that a bit smaller. Add some of that green back into the middle there. And up into here, into his hair, the top of his head. You can see he's got that stronger green up there. Little subtle colour changes. Okay. Now I've got to add darker blue. I'll use this darker blue down here in these colour patches. Down here, I can just drag and drop. Whoop. Drag and drop that blue into there, like that. And then the one down a bit further. Like that. Oh, doesn't want to drop in there. Oh, really doesn't. Okay, I'll just colour it in. That's easier. There we go. Same for that one. Okay, now shrink him down, have a look. I'm going to soften the edges of that. I'm going to go back to my yellow and come down onto that a little bit with the yellow. Like that, just to soften those two markings. See his feather is a bit rougher on his chest there. I'm going to add a little bit of grey. Go a bit of that blue grey under his beak, just under there. And then another bit of a darker blue grey, just to give that a little bit of definition, just to help. And I'm going to blend that a fraction. Just a tiny bit, because I'm not 100% happy with that shape. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to add the green on his chest. So it's a darker green, a stronger green. And I'm going to find, let's have a look at the different brushes. I want a softer, maybe the sable, we'll try that. Well, that's better, that might work. It's a softer effect for his feathers on his chest. Because the Procreate app comes with all different brushes that you can use for effects, and it does help to experiment a little bit with them and see what you like. So I'm still very much learning and fiddling around and working out what I like and what I don't. So come down here, you can see that it's much darker on the bottom of his chest, but I'll just start with this layer first. Come down under his wing, like that, down onto his belly and down to his leg. Okay, now I'm going to go a super dark green. Where's a dark green? I need a darker green, but not. Actually, I'm just going to go onto the colour wheel and I'm going to make a dark green like that. And I want to add, I'm going to add a palette. So new palette, and I'm going to add that dark green to there. Then I'm going to take that onto his chest, because you can see where he's got that darker sort of a green. Comes down there, a little bit there. It comes down to his chest. Now I can blend that a little bit just to soften it. And you can add all kinds of textures. There's all kinds of texture brushes, which is really cool. Okay, having a look at that now. I'm quite happy with that. Now, for the wing feathers, all the feathers around his neck and his shoulder and everywhere else, I'm going to find the brush. Where's the brush one? I need the brush one. I'm going to go through all my brushes to find it. I know I've got it here. Elements? No, it's not elements. Textures? Textures. No, it's not in textures. Maybe it was the Ergos, because Ergo does have a hair rake. We'll try that. I'm going to go yellow. I need it to be stronger than that. Oh, that's too big. It's definitely not the hair rake then. See if I can find it. That's a better one. That's better. I can use that. That's another hair one, but it's softer. So I'm going to come around and add these yellow with the highlights on these feathers. It's not going to be exactly the same. I'm just got to be careful to add these in. Coming down his back. It's going to work on one part at a time. I'll just work on the top feathers on his back first. They've got very dark feathers. They come down to about there, I reckon. And then in between he's got dark. It's dark, almost dark grey green. So again, follow down, fill in between those feathers. Like that. Trying to keep the edges soft, and you can see that brush tool does keep everything soft. Okay, quite happy with that, I think. All right, and I can come down here to the next lot of feathers. Make that one a bit thicker. Let's zoom out a little bit and have a look. Yeah, that looks all right. Maybe I've got them down a bit too far, but I can go over that anyway. Now these ones here are a bit longer. Come down. It's like a charcoaly colour almost, this. Then they get smaller as they go. To the back there like that. Then they sort of meet up there. Okay. And I'm going to add the yellow in amongst that. So I'm going to go in between and add the yellow. Like that. There we go. Now, all right. Having a look at the feathers. Now the feathers, I'm going to go back to the grey. Down here, they go in all sorts of directions, so it's a little bit hard to, I'm going to try and keep the shapes. Now they sort of go rounder and down that sort of way. Just looking at little shapes and trying to follow the shapes. See, that sort of comes in, and remembering to go the direction of the feathers. The way they travel down the bird's back. Okay, and then they come down here. Okay, so that's the ones on his back pretty much. Add the yellow in. There'll be another layer over the top of this just to help to blend things. And add a couple more tones in, a couple more greens maybe. There's a couple of different greens in amongst all this. Awesome, Jen. Good to see you. Hello. Digital? Yes, thank you. I'm loving digital. It is good fun. And I can do so much more with it. Like, it's just far more flexible. So really organising or enjoying it is what I'm trying to say. And thank you for the lurk, Dale. Thank you for the lurk. Okay, so I come down and around. Now I'm going to do the feathers around the edge, just because it gives me then it'll give me a guide more into his shape of his wing. I can see here these feathers. Oh, what have I done there? I erased. These feathers come from about that second shape there, that second feather. Then they come down to the bottom of his wing. I'm just trying to get these shapes in at the second. They come all the way to the bottom of his wing there. So I can extend those down a fraction like that. And then these other feathers, there's another layer of them. I'm just marking in the yellows first, then I'll build in the greys. And then these ones in here are a little bit rounder. Again, they follow that shape. Okay, now I can add that darker grey in to the middle of that. Just work my way around. My little dog wants to come in, but she's a sookie. All right. Sir John has cheered 100 bits. Thank you for the bits, Sir John. I don't know why my alerts aren't working. Shout out to Sir John. Shout out at Sir John. Thank you, mate. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. So how are you today? So I'm just going to continue on filling this in, working my way around the feathers. Just wrapping up. Cool. Cool, cool. So what were you working on? Were you doing your crocheting? I lurked for a little bit, 12 hours this last go. Wow. That's dedication. I used to do that with gaming, but not with crafts and arts. But I suppose once you get enthralled in it, it's quite easy. Finish the crochet blanket. Wow, very good. Well, that's a bit awesome. Very good indeedly. So I'm just going to come around, keep filling in these feathers. Like that. So it's not exactly like the reference, but it's close-ish. 5 foot wide and 6 feet tall. Wow, that's awesome. That is very awesome. That'll be very snuggly in winter and very nice for sitting on the sofa watching telly. You wrap yourself up in it. You wrap the whole family up in it, that size. Not 6? All right, so that's round about the shape that I want there. Having another look. Okay, that looks all right. That looks all right. I'm going to add some of these darker tones. There's a middle sort of a green in amongst all that as well. So I'm going to add that. Just having a quick look. It's more of that bluey grey green. So your stepson, oh, lovely. Well, and those sort of things are like a family heirloom too. You keep them forever. I've got my great-grandmother's crochet, not crochet, sorry, tapestry. It's like line sewing, but it's pretty patterns. And I've got one, it's about 200 years old. And we just kept it because they used to make all their own, back in the day, they used to make all their own kitchen linen, tablecloths and doilies and things, and they all used to hand make them, and I've inherited all of those, and I absolutely love them. So I love that kind of thing, Sir John. So now I'm going to go down and I'm going to start to add in some of these longer feathers coming down, trying to keep the shapes and work my way down the feathers on the body. And I'm still using that hair rake brush. Like that, nail. And then there's white around the outside of them. So pretty on your art. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm, really enjoying playing with digital at the moment. And I can print these And if anyone wants to buy them, I can just email them, send them via message. So it's not like having to export and send sort of fragile paintings in frames and worrying about things getting damaged. I can just email this to people. So I've got to figure out how to set up a website to be able to sell my digital art. I've got to look into it because I've got no idea. Lots of fun times ahead, I think. Now I'm just going to start. You can see there's a bit of white on the tops of these back feathers. I'm going to go a brighter white. Again, still using that rake brush. My USB's just restarted, so I lost audio. Oh, that's okay. It happens. Technology. Yay, technology. Continue on and around, getting these little light bits in. Okay, and he's also got some darker greys just in the bottom line of those feathers, like that. So I just continue round, and I can see a bit of yellow there as well that I haven't put in. And the beauty of being able to zoom in to a digital piece is I can see more detail. I can see much more detail, which is really handy. So I come down and around a bit more of the yellow around the bottoms of these feathers. Like that. I can hear all the little birds outside chirping away like crazy. I'm going to blend. Still see a little bit of my underlying pencil lines. So I want to try and blend those a little bit. Make them disappear. Need to get some Z's. Have to get the missus at midnight at work. No worries, mate. Will you have a good night's sleep? Drive safe when you get the missus. And have a great night. And thank you for popping in, doll. Thank you very much for popping in. It's always appreciated. It's always lovely to see you. So now I'm going to add these longer, darker feathers down his back. These are like his flight feathers. And they go into points. And they don't quite meet at the top. And I come down and long. Great catching your streams. Thank you, doll. It's always lovely to see you. Thank you so much. Always appreciated, doll. I come down here, fill all that in, leaving a little gap, just a little gap around the edges so I can add the white. Love the art. Thank you, doll. Hello, Mike. How you going? It is good fun, mate. It is very good fun. So now I'm going to just bring this dark bit down right around this edge. I'm well, how are you? I'm good. I'm very good. I dropped into my old workplace earlier this morning and chatted to my old colleagues who I miss terribly. I haven't seen them for ages. So they're an awesome bunch of girls. So I dropped in at my old workplace and had a chat for a little bit, picked up some shopping. And what else did I do? I can't remember what else. Picked up the mail. And it's a bloody hot day here today. We've got 30. Did you draw Cheeto? I didn't. I haven't yet. I'm going to, though, but I haven't. I might even do him digital, mate. Then I can just send it to you too. So I might do him digital. And then I can just send you the picture and you can print it off. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm having a quick look. I've got to go the stronger green down his back. I'm not happy with what I've done here. I'm going to erase this, the top of him. I've got the wrong shape there. I'm just looking at the picture and I've got the wrong shape. So I'm just going to erase all of that. That's a bit better. But yes, I will get onto that in the next little bit, doll, and I'll send it to you. I'm going to go this darker green. Now, what did I do up here? I'm going to go this darker sort of green. No, it's a lighter one than that, isn't it? That one. And then put that on his back. Bring that down. There. Coming around the edges of his feathers. like that. Also going to add a little bit of that green around on his chest. Now he's got his long feathers here. I'm just going to come into there with the green. Take it almost to the tip of his wing. And just do a few lines of that. It's more of a blue-green, but that's fine. And I'm going to add the blue now. This sort of blue-green. I can hear all the little birds. I've got the bird bath because it's 36 degrees Celsius, which is about 100, I think. 90 or 100 in US Fahrenheit. It's a bloody hot one, so I've put all bird baths out everywhere, and all the birds, I can hear them all chirping through the window. Having a great old time out there. I love the bird baths. I love to sit there and watch them for hours, all flopping or flip-flopping around in there. Now I'm going to add some white. I'm going to go a different brush. I'm going to go to my recents. I'm going to go back to the soft airbrush. I'm going to add some stronger lines like that. Then stronger line there. Stronger line coming down there. So it's starting to come together. Not happy about that. That was a bit rough. I need to make it a bit thicker. Oh, not that thick. A bit thinner than that. There we go. All right, having a quick look. And then almost come down to there. Bottom one, like that. Okay, shrink him down and have a look. Okay, that's looking all right. I'm happy with that. And I'm also going to add that now. I'm going to go back in, make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to strengthen up the lights around these little feathers here. You can see the lights are stronger there. I can see there's lights on the back of that wing as well. I'm just going back around now and having a quick look. I'm going to add some of these into these ones here. So he's got a bit more white into the middle of his feathers there. Now I shrink him down and have a look. That's looking better. Looking better. Now I'm going to add a bit of a blue, that sort of a blue, just down into here, into his back. A little bit onto here. A little bit onto the back of his leg there. And I'm going to blend that. Yeah, I don't know why my alerts aren't working. I don't know what's going on there. I'm just going to check. Test widgets. Oh no. That's odd. The sub one didn't work. The bits one didn't work. Okay, so now I'm going to add this light blue to the bottom of his tail. He's got this light blue down here. Comes right down to the point. Darker blue on the top. I'm going to go almost this ultramarine it is. And take that to the top of his tail. Like that, and then feather it down, soften it down there like that. Whoops. Back up a bit, redo that. It was a bit rough. I can blend that into that lighter blue underneath just to soften it, like that. Blend it into that lighter underneath colour. There we go. Shrink him down and have another look, and I'm going to go for the dark green. Scroll down to my palette, go that sort of green in that feather there, and blend, soften that, like that. Now I'm having another quick look. I'm going to go that green, just into here. Maybe add Hello, Joyce. Parakeety's just gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, I love these birds. I love all birds. They are lovely. Lovely, lovely birds. I've got to add this darker colour down the back of this wing. You can see the other side. You can see the underside. This wing is quite dark. So I'm just going to add this super dark green or dark greeny grey just to the tips of those underside of those wings. Like that. Onto the very tips of these ones. So how have you been today, Joyce? How's your day been? I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow into, I'm going to go back to the sable brush and add a little bit of that yellow just down here onto his thigh, onto his little drummy. I know you love them. How will you paint them? Oh, thank you, doll. Yeah, I adore them. I'm just listening to them outside now. I can hear them out my window all chirping away. So I put all bird baths and bird seed, and we bought finch food, and so they're not having to worry because it's a bit of drought here. It's not a lot of feed for them. So my husband and I have been getting the wild seed for them, and they're loving it. They are loving it. So having another look now. So he's looking all right. We're getting there, slowly, slowly. I'm going to add a creamy colour, this sort of creamy grey, onto his tummy there. We've got so many colours in them. You don't realise I've taken his chest down a bit, this colour here down too far. I've got to add that green. I've just realised I've taken this way too far down his neck. So I'm going to just green that up again. Like that. Then I'm going to go the darker green that I've got up here. No, you're not going to do it. I didn't hit the right button. That one. And I'm going to fill that in up here a bit. I've got to redo those little marks on his chest. Slept in. Day, MLK Day. No mail, no work, no nothing. We slept in, then watched the inauguration. Oh, cool. Very good. Was it good? I heard about it. I have no idea about it. I heard it was happening. Did it all go off well? Hopefully it all went nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to just go darker up under his little legs there. And then got to add some more greens under his tail just to get these feathers looking a bit more bejaggedy, a bit softer. Just make it all a little bit softer. Add another layer of that dark blue. What have I done down there? Erase that. I've got a bit of... I'm just as messy with digital art as I am with traditional. I just got paint in a plate in another place that I didn't need it. It's like, what am I doing? What on earth am I doing? How am I getting paint there? Come down into there and just strengthen that dark up there. All right. I'm going to do this background as well. Not quite sure. You know that bird's exactly. Thank you. That's what I love about digital. Digital, I can zoom in and get a lot more detail, which makes me... I think I'm better at digital art than I am at traditional. Like I seem to be able to do better. I'm more patient, I think it is. I'm more patient with digital than I am with traditional. As bizarre as that sounds, it makes me... I feel like I'm a better artist digitally, which is very strange. I'm just going to zoom in there and have another look at his little leg. And I'm going to add a bit of a light blue grey to his feet, like that. And I've got to get my monoline pen and draw his little claw. And his claws are grey, a dark grey. So probably, oh, it's not that grey. It's a bit of a darker grey than that even. Go that browny grey, like that. And I'll add that onto his... I've got to add these darker feathers down here as well now. So I'm going to go into his green on his bottom, And add some ruffly feathers down here on his bot. Get some light as well. I'm just looking for lights and darks, all different tones. Mix it up a little. Keep him looking interesting. Shrink it down, have another look. I'm not 100% happy with his beak. Not sure why, but I'm not 100% happy with his beak. I need to fiddle with his beak and figure out. I think I need to shorten it a fraction. So I'm going to shorten it a fraction. I think I made it too long. That looks a bit better. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this greeny grey underneath it, just to give it a bit more definition underneath. If our country doesn't do better now, it's hopeless. We wish we could have a president that stays until, yeah, everything crossed, it all goes well this time. Everything crossed, everything works out okay. I'm wishing you all the best of luck, that's for sure. Hope it all goes well. I think the whole world's got your back. So now I'm going to add some of this super dark to the very top of his feathers on his back, because it helps to create a little bit more contrast as well. It's that little bit of stronger colours. I might go to my soft airbrush. I might go to hair strand actually, because that's a slightly thicker mark, but not quite, not flat. It's got a little bit of texture to it, which is good. We're all praying, yes. I think the whole world is for you, Dal. The whole world is. We're all behind you. I'm going to add a little bit of this darker now, darker and stronger to the back feathers. And that just gives them a little bit more density, makes them look a little bit stronger. Take it all the way down here. These ones actually have a lot more dark. I can add that into these ones. Going around that white. Pull that right in. Like that. Now, same on this other side. That feather's darker right on the tip. You're an amazing artist. You have real talent. Oh, yours is that talent? No, talent's talent, mate. It's still, you have to do it. You tell the app what to do. That is talent, mate. That is absolutely talent. You need to give yourself a bit more credit, Dal. I couldn't do what you do. No way. So I could not do what you do, Dal. I'm going to lengthen his tail a fraction. I think his tail's a little bit short. I measured it against his head. It's probably 2.5 times the length of his head. So 1, 2, yeah, I've got to make it a little fraction longer. Just a fraction to the tip, a bit longer there. There we go. Then I'm going to add a bit of feather texture coming down his tail, like that. I'm going to add a little bit more green, this limey green, to the top of his back there. A little bit more of that limey green into his body here underneath. Just looking for anywhere that I can see different colours. Now, I can't see his other leg. I'm going to do this, the perch he's sitting on. So you could, but you would draw what I make. Oh, see, there you go. So I'm going to start by drawing. What the heavens have I done? There we go. Go that way. Draw that line. Actually, I can do that on another layer. There we go, layer 3. Why is it doing layer 2? What on earth have I done? Go another layer. There we go. And I'm going to take that stem perch, so I can actually go over the drawing then. Take it all the way to the edge, to that edge, whoops, like that. Same as that, because I can delete that. And I'm going to drag and drop. Oh, that didn't work. Drag and drop into that line. Why is it not? Silly thing. Uh-oh, there we go. I'm just going to have to colour that in, I think. These are birds are not wild in this country anymore at all anywhere. Oh, okay. Yeah, they are here. We're very lucky. I'm just going to draw this again, try and get this to go into that drag and drop, because it's just easier than having to colour it all in. Oh, doesn't want to do it. That's fine. I'll just colour it in. I'll just colour it in. So I'll just fill all of that stem in. Yeah, these guys are wild here, but they're up north a bit. We get them occasionally down here, down south. But they tend to be in the more tropical climates. We get a lot of parrots, a lot of cockatoos, a lot of rosellas, a lot of the exotic big parrots we get. And finches. We get a million little finches. Love my finches. So absolutely adore the finches. And we've got gorgeous little red-browed finches. I did a portrait of them the other day. Totally love them. They're so sweet and they're so tiny. They're the size of your thumbnail. They're tiny little things. Now, I'm going to add, I need a yellow ochre colour. The other day I used a yellow ochre colour. Just having a look through my old palettes here. Maybe I could use that pinky colour. That looks about right. No, it doesn't. That's way too bright. That colour. That's a bit better. It's a bit softer. A bit more of a clayish colour. And I'm going to add a little bit of that texture through this stick. Perch. It's quite orange under there. Oh, I've just realised I'm on the other layer, so it's okay. I can keep going and adding the colours down here. He needs that. I'm not going to have to draw that other leg in. He looks a bit odd without the other leg, so I am going to have to draw that in. They take them from Aussie and sell them at pet shops here, and it's expensive. We have thousands of yellow finches and house wrens, teeny tiny hummingbirds. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to drop that down. Whoops. Under there, so that tidies up that layer. And now I'm going to go back to there, I'll stay on there, and I'm going to add the darker tones underneath. Add this sort of browny colour just down the bottom there. I can blend it. Add brick. Is that like a dry brick? I have no idea what brick is, except for house brick. I'll blend that in. What apps do you use? What app do you use to make your digital art, Joyce? Because it's fascinating how you can do it and have it all do its morphs. It sort of morphs and stuff. It's fascinating to see. Now I'm going to use a different brush. What other brush have I got? I need a, let's have a look at artistic. Oh, leather wood might work. Let's have a look. It's a little bit rougher. That's all right. That works. I find brick. Oh, brick red. Gotcha. Gotcha. That makes sense. Just adding in a bit of rough. That's a good idea. I might go a reddy brown then. That's a bit too burgundy. Let's have a look. Let's go to my colour chart. Go to the colour chart and go an earthy reddy brown. Sort of about that maybe. Let's have a look. Let's go to my palettes. Oops. Palettes. All the way to the top. Let's have a look at that. Oh, yeah, that works. Thank you, Joyce. It's a little bit, I've got a little bit of pinky in it maybe, but that's okay. And a little bit of white. The perch has aged a bit. I'll go a little bit of bright white. Oops, today's. Oops. Bit thick. That's better. Need to make it a little bit thinner. like that. And then I can blend it because sticks are very rough. It's not too much to worry about detail. Movavi and Incendia. Oh, okay. Never heard of either. Very cool. Love learning about new things. Now I can see he's got, I'm going to draw another leg. I can't not have that leg. It looks weird. He looks very strange without a little leg behind. So I'm going to draw, oops, his other little leg there because I can't not. Lexi has to go out. See you later. Okie doke. Have a fun walk. Have a lovely walk, doll. Enjoy. Enjoy going out, doll. Going to add that darker grey down the back. Like that. There we go. That looks a bit better. He doesn't look so weird. He just needed that little bit of softness and a little bit that extra leg. I'm going to add yellow. Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong colour. Add that yellow down there. Doesn't want to... Oh, wrong layer. Go back to layer 2. Like that. Got to add that yellow in there. A bit stronger there. Now, I'm going to do this background. I'm going to blend... Actually, I'm going to blend the stem first. Blend all of that. Oh, I need to go back to the stem layer. Just blend a lot of that in. Like that. I've got to add some more of that yellow in there, yellow ochre colour. Maybe not that one. I'll blend that out, doesn't matter. There's so many different colours in wood. I want to go that sort of colour. No, that's not it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yellowy brown colour. Maybe that'll do. That one. That's better. Take that right round his foot. Like that. Then I'll blend it. Take it right back into there like that. Blend this colour back into the tail. Take it right back like that. Okay, now I've got to get rid of that layer. Don't know what's happened there. Why have I got... Oh, there we go. I had a line where I didn't want it. So I'll go over that. Blend all of that. Like that. And then I'll blend it all again. Can I blend those layers? I want to blend those 2 layers. Yep. Okay, now blend it all. And I can add some darker browns underneath. Give it a bit of texture, a bit of interest. See, he's got some darks under there. It's very dark. See, I've got him a bit higher on the perch than the actual reference is. That's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, having a look. Blend that a bit more. Gonna get light. Go that light grey. Nope, I want a white. I want more of a white colour. More of that one. Like that. Sort of a chalky effect, this one. That's good. Don't mind that at all. Take that right to that outside edge. Same on there. It's got to get rid of that. I've got a bit of a mark on there I'm going to erase. Go back to my background layer. Erase that little pencil mark that I've got there. Okay, now I'm going to blend some of this wood, leave some of it rough looking and some of it blended. It will just help. To soften it. There we go. Now I've got to do something with this background. I'm going to do a bokeh background, like a tree background. So I've been doing this a lot lately. I'm going to go, I'll add another layer. And I'm going to go the clouds. Where's the clouds? Organic. What do we got? Natural cloud. I'm going to make that big, like that. Go over the top of the whole thing. I'll add, I don't like that. Undo it. What am I going to do? I'm going to go elements. Oh, here we go. These are better. Oh no, what was I using yesterday? I can't remember what I used yesterday. Oh, it was lights, wasn't it? Hang on. It was something to do with light. I've got to my favourite lighting. No, that's lightning. I want to get my favourite setup. Luminance. Aha! Light leak, that's the one. And I'm going to go dark green, super dark green. Over the top. Then take it smaller, go a middle green. Just add that in and around for interest, and then go, oops, I'm going to drag that over the top now. Actually take that to the bottom. Like that. Yeah, I don't like that. It's not working. How did I do it? How do I do it? Let's have a think. Can't remember how I did it. Go another layer. And then I'm going to add, I'll go airbrush. Just having a look at all the different brushes and all the different effects at the second, just to see. Maybe I'll go clouds. Maybe I will go clouds. And just big, like that. Just to soften that background up. Go a bit of green. Bit of a darker green. Make it a bit narrower. Oops, not that much. Just add a bit of texture throughout. Like that. A bit of light. And I'll add, okay, then I'm going to drag that up or down, drag it down the bottom, and that puts it behind the bird, like that. Don't know. Don't like it. Got to figure out what I'm going to do. How am I going to do that? I'm just getting rid of all that background. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some more brushes. Artistic. Elements. Luminance. Because I did it with light leak, I'm sure. Try nebula. See what nebula's like. Looks like cloud. Then I'll go dark green. That might work. Go dark green. Why is it not dark green? Go dark. Oh, what's it doing? Okay, maybe not. Go full size. That's better. That's better. That's sort of what I like. It gives it that softer background. Go to greens. Like that. That gives it that tree effect behind him. Okay, I like that. And go dark, dark green. I've got a super dark green. Like that. Okay, then I drop that to lift that to the top. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Hang on. Okay. Nope, I'm not happy with that. Drop him down below there. Nope. He has to go up the top. Oops. Okay, and I've got to blend. It's done something weird. What have I done? Andy, can I put? Okay, I'm going to blend all this. Got to rework on this stem. I'm not happy with that. What have I done? Let's see if I can blend my two layers together there. It won't let me. Let me blend. Can I? There we go. No. I'll try and blend my. Oops. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. What's I've got to soften. He's looking a bit harsh. He's looking a bit harsh, so I've got to soften his feathers. So I'm going to go back, and I'm not happy with that. Don't know what I've done. I'm going to take it all back, see if I can get it back to where it was. Just going to get rid of all of that. Okay, I like him better like that. He looks a bit better. I delete, whoops, nope, not that one. Try to pinch them together so that they go into they will go into one layer. There we go. Oops. Now, got to get rid of that one. Now we'll try and add another layer. I'm still very much learning with these. Okay, layer 2. Then I'm going to go back to that luminance kind of brush. Where is it? Light League. Done. I'm going to add this dark green, almost black green. Take it all over the top, like that. Then a lighter green. This gives it a softer. Add a bit of light to that. Nope, I'll make it smaller. No, not that. Nope. There we go. Get a bit of a light sort of coming through. Then I can drag that below the bird. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go back up there because I want to do some more of adding that light leak. It needs some more bright up the top. Like that. Okay, now I'll move it. Have another look. Whoops. Like that. Okay, that's looking a bit better. That's looking better. Now I'm going to strengthen up these browns underneath this branch. I'm going to go to a different brush. Go to budgie. Because branches aren't smooth. And just add a bit of texture through it. Like that. That helps that to look a bit more branch-like. I'm going to add some purple to the shadow. Well, I'll go, where's the deep purple? Oh, there's a deep purple to the shadow under his bottom and his legs, like that, and under his tail, under his feet, like that, a little bit under his tail. And you want stop-start lines, you don't want it solid all the way across. Like that. I'm going to add a little bit of that same dark under his wing. Take it right down to little under his beak. Like that. And I reckon I'm going to call that, so I'm going to sign it. Go back down here. Oops. Make it a bit more pale. A bit more finer lined. Go down here. And 2025, and we are done. So thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back for another video probably tomorrow. We shall see how we go, but